Oh, welcome to another episode of our live stream, My Journey to the Trinity. Um, and I'm just I'm doing this kind of because it's like I did this before, which is everybody's kind of just sitting on the pins and needles, uh, waiting to see what's going to happen in the Middle East. You know, Here's our map of the Middle East, according to the Bible, according to the Ezekiel. And here's another one, even better, has everything from Gomer, Magog, Meshech, Rosh, Tubal, Persia. And now everybody's kind of like in the Middle East waiting to see what's going to happen. And I just kind of want to look at some of the some of the some of the stuff in the media, just to show that nobody's really sure what's going on, but it looks like everybody is just kind of holding their breath, waiting to see. Here is says Netanyahu warns of a proactive attack as Tehran speaks of Israel's annihilation. So Iran is talking about annihilating Israel, and so Israel is actually talking about a preemptive attack. Like to just and there's actually people in the media, I'm very surprised to see it, who seem to be encouraging this very strange situation there. So I just want to look at some of the media stuff. It's really unbelievable. And when you think about what Bible prophecies buffs have been saying for years, I mean, look at this. This has got 4 different articles here. Netanyahu warns of a proactive attack as Tehran speaks of Israel's annihilation. And then it says here, enough of waiting for disasters. Israel should strike preemptively. Wow. And then this is an Iranian general, Israel cannot be saved from annihilation, says Iranian army commander. And then Iranian President Pezeshkian, which sounds very Armenian actually, asks supreme leader to refrain from attacking Israel. Wow. And so you got all of this going on right now. And in light of Bible prophecy, this is the big prophecy that, that Iran is going to hit Israel. Iran has decided to attack Israel, Foreign Minister Katz says. Iran's message was delivered to Israel via Hungary's foreign minister, who called Katz directly to relay the information. Okay. Then you have this, you have Trump saying, I'm hearing there's going to be an attack tonight by Iran. Now, this was yesterday. Okay. And then underground bases and mobile launchers, Iran readying for attack. Erdogan, Turkey's, I don't know what to call him, threatens Israel. Like we entered Karabakh and Libya, we will do the same to Israel. Okay, so interesting that he's being so bold. He must be running for office again. And so you got all of these different messages. And then I think this one, okay, Biden warned of an imminent double attack on Israel by Iran and Hezbollah. There's Biden. You notice how the pictures of him recently are all from very far away. And so, Bershikian means doctor. Oh, okay. My wife is explaining the name of the doctor. Is that really the president of Iran? I thought the president of Iran. Oh, he's not Armenian? Okay. My wife is watching, you guys. and she saw that I said something there about this guy right here. Let me see. Okay, right here. The first one, Iranian President Pezeshkian asked Supreme Leader to refrain from attacking Israel. Apparently his name means doctor in Persian. Okay. But annihilation, dang, those are strong words. And it makes me think of Ezekiel 39, you guys. You know, I know we always talk about Ezekiel 38, but 39 is the real scary chapter. 38 is about the alliance of nations that's going to be involved. And but 39 is the one that talks about the actual attack. And it is scary. It is very scary. Let's just look at what it says here. It says, okay, first of all, let me get it, my Diet Coke. Okay. It says, Son of man, prophesy against Gog and say, now this Gog is Gog is like Russia or Putin. This is what the sovereign Lord says. I am against you, Gog, chief prince of Meshech and Tubal. I will turn you around and drag you along. I will bring you from the far north, that's Russia land, and send you against the mountains of Israel. Then I will strike your bow from your left hand and make your arrows drop from your right hand. Now, you guys, when it says bows and arrows, don't just be thinking bows and arrows. It's actually, the word is really like a launcher. You know, the way the bow is a launcher, it launches. And arrow isn't necessarily just a little wooden arrow with a sharp rock at the end. It's actually could be like a missile. So you got the launchers and the missiles. Launchers and missiles, bows and arrows. Okay, if you look at the Hebrew original words, it's like a launcher and a missile. And so God says, I will strike the bow from your left hand and make the arrows drop from your right hand. Okay, so there you go. You got the bow with the left hand, and then the arrow with the right hand. Okay. On the mountains of Israel you will fall, and all your troops, and the nations with you. I will give you as food to all kinds of birds. You will fall in the open field, declares the Lord. I will send fire on Magog and those who live safely in the coastlands, and they will know that I am the Lord. Now, when it says those who live in safety on the coastlands, right there, you know, oops, I'm not showing it to you. Let me, okay, when it says those who live in safety on the coastlands, okay, there's some people I've heard say that is, oh, he's a moderate. Oh, he's a new president. Yezhki. Hey, how you doing, Blackwater? How are you, Emmanuel? God bless you guys. Yeah, just looking, you know, it just looks like at any minute something could happen. At any minute there could be an attack. And so I'm just kind of playing it by ear here. And I think this is Ezekiel 39 being fulfilled because Iran, let me show you again. Okay. Look what Iran says. Israel cannot be saved from annihilation, says Iranian army commander. Annihilation, you guys, sounds very nuclear to me. And that's why I'm reading Ezekiel 39, and God forbid that will happen. But you guys keep your eyes on Damascus. The Bible prophecy is focused on Damascus. And but let's just see here what it says. And when it says, I will send fire on Magog and those who live in safety in the coastlands. There's a lot of people who think safety in the coastlands is talking about the United States. We've got the longest coastline and we live in safety. Some people said that, okay? And so I'm just telling you what it says, you know. Some people from Israel are, you know, saying, oh, it's so easy for you sitting in your comfort zone over there, you know, talking about what's going to happen in Israel and everything like that. I'm not telling you what I think. This is what, look what the Bible says. You know, it says, I will bring you against the mountains of Israel and you will fall there. But I don't think we're exempt. It says on those who live in safety on the coastland. It says God will send fire on Magog, which is Russia, which, if you notice, look at what's happening in Russia today with the Ukraine situation. And they will know that I am the Lord, and those on the coastlands, you know. And then it says, I will make my holy name known among the people of Israel. I will no longer let my holy name be profaned, and the nations will know that I, the Lord, am the Holy One in Israel. Now, you know, when I read this, it always makes me think back. Remember when the demons, when Jesus came into, he was into a synagogue, and then there was a guy who was demon possessed in the synagogue, and he said, I know who you are. You're the Holy One of God. And here it says, I, the Lord, am the Holy One in Israel. Okay. And then look what the Bible says. You know, if you think, oh, you know, this isn't for sure, it is coming. It will surely take place, declares the sovereign Lord. This is the day I have spoken of. So there's a double thing where the Lord is saying, it is coming. It will surely happen. But this is where it gets scary, you guys. Remember, let's look again at what our friend in Iran said. Israel cannot be saved from annihilation, says Army Commander. Annihilation, I believe, points to nuclear weapons. Well, look at this right here. This is one of the clearest indications of nuclear fallout in Israel. It says, then those who live in the towns of Israel will go out and use the weapons for fuel and burn them up. Okay. The small and large shields, the bows and arrows, the clubs and spears, for 7 years they will use them for fuel. They will not need to gather wood from the fields or cut from the forest because they will use the weapons for fuel. Okay. Let me just show you, you know, that prophecy. Okay. Look at what, this is so amazing. This is so amazing. Because this prophecy in Ezekiel is just like, give me a break. For 7 years, they're not going to need to cut wood to warm their homes because they're going to be able to use the weapons for fuel. Well, look at this right here. Look what it says here. This is amazing, you guys. Seriously. What a prophecy. What a prophecy. Just a decade ago, 1 in 10 American light bulbs was powered by dismantled Russian nuclear weapons. That was made possible by the Megatons to Megawatts program, an agreement negotiated after the collapse of the Soviet Union to convert uranium for Russia's nuclear weapons stockpile into fuel for U.S. nuclear power plants. So we're already doing this. We're already using Magog's weapons for fuel to where we don't need to cut down trees because we're using the weapons of Magog. This is so mind-boggling. This is so amazing. that Ezekiel predicted this 3,000 years ago. Look, they will not need to gather wood from the fields or cut it from the forest, because they will use weapons for fuel. Is that awesome or what, you guys? Is that amazing? If you're not a Christian, you need to be a Christian right now. If you're not a Christian, you need to be a Christian right now. This prophecy is mind-boggling. Let's read it again. Okay. Then those who live in the towns of Israel will go out and use the weapons for fuel and burn them up. The small and large shields, bows and arrows, clubs and spears. For 7 years they will use them for fuel. They will not need to gather wood from the fields or cut from the forest, because they will use the weapons for fuel. This is Ezekiel 39 verse 9, 3,000 years ago. Using the weapons of Russia to warm the homes to where they don't have to cut down trees anymore. You guys, this is fantastic. It's awesome. It's amazing. The prophet Ezekiel is amazing. And if you're not a Christian, you need to become one right now, because this right here proves, he says, you will know that I am the Lord. Only God knows stuff like this. Okay. And they will plunder those who plundered them and loot those who looted them. On that day, I will give Gog a burial place in Israel, in the valley of those who travel east of the sea. It will block the way of travelers, because Gog and all his hordes will be buried there. So it will be called the Valley of Haman Gog. Okay. Talking about, there's so many people that die that, they have a special burial place downwind, down by the Dead Sea. Okay. For 7 months, Israelites will be burying them in order to cleanse the land. Imagine having to bury people for 7 months. How many people are going to die in this? How many of Magog's soldiers are going to die in this? So many that they need 7 months to bury them. 7 months to bury all these people. Okay. All the people of the land will bury them that day. So it's not just going to be the Israelites, it's going to be the Palestinians too. And that day will I display my glory, will be a memorable day for them, declares the sovereign Lord. They will see the glory of the God of Israel. People, okay, look, okay, you got, first of all, you got all the Israelites. Then you got all the people of the land. So there's not just Israelites, other people of the land are also going to be burying, because there's so many dead people, they need to get the stench out of the land. Everybody's going to be burying these people from Magog. And then it says, people will be continually employed in cleansing the land. They're going to have special people employed. They're going to have special people that are going to be just, you know what it is? Let me show you. It's these people. Okay. Okay. It's the Bible talks about these people who are hired for people will be continually employed in cleansing the land. These people are hired specifically to cleanse the land of the radiation. See, it's these people. These are the ones who are continually employed. They're wearing these suits and they're going there and they're cleansing the land, because after a nuclear event. Okay, and then look at what it says. It says, they will spread out across the land along with others. They will bury any bodies that are lying on the ground. So, again, they will bury any bodies that are lying. If there's bodies lying on the ground, these are the guys because of the nuclear fallout. Okay. But it gets even more amazing. It gets even more amazing, you guys. It gets mind blowing, literally. It says, after the 7 months, they will carry out a more detailed search. Dude, what the heck? After 7 months, a more detailed search. So they have the search where they get all the bodies, they bury everybody. So what the heck? Why is it that you need a more detailed search? Because we're dealing with nuclear radiation and fallout. So it's not just about bodies. You're dealing with nuclear radiation. And look what it says. As they go through the land, anyone who sees a bone will leave a marker beside it until the grave diggers bury it in the valley of Hamon-Gog. So whatever happened was so powerful that not only were there bodies, but body parts, like an explosion that, body parts. And if they see a bone, isn't this interesting? If they see a bone, why don't they just put it in their car and take it down to the valley and bury it? No, they don't. They put a sign next to it. Look at this. He sees a human bone, will leave a marker, a sign beside it. So the grave diggers will bury it. Why is it that they won't actually bury it themselves? Because of the nuclear fallout. So what they will do is they'll put a marker right next to it. They'll put a marker right next to it, a sign next to it. And the professional people who are these guys, they are capable of picking up those body parts and burying them. Okay. You guys, this was written 3,000 years ago. This was written 3,000 years ago. God bless you, Blackwater, Tiger, Emmanuel. The Lord bless you guys. So good to see you. And then, let me see. Okay. And look what it says. Near a town called Hamona. Now, you guys, Hamona. Okay, it's called Hamona. Now, this is just my crazy theory, you guys. Okay, this is just my crazy theory. Okay, let me see. Map of Israel. Okay. Let me just show you something about the map of Israel here. Okay, it's called the map called Hamona, a place called Hamona, and let me just show you this. You know what, you guys? Yeah, you see the Dead Sea? You see the Dead Sea there? This is the area where they're going to be burying the Valley of Hamon-Gog. This is where they're going to be burying the dead people, and it's downwind. Okay, but about Hamona, what's interesting about Hamona is that there is a place right around here, Beersheba. See Beersheba over here? If you could see Beersheba. See Beersheba right there? Okay. This Beersheba, I don't know if I can go any bigger than this. No. You see Beersheba right there. It's kind of like right in the middle there. Right close to Beersheba is a place called Damona. Not Hamona, but Damona. And who knows what's important about Damona? It's a very, very important city in Israel. Who knows what's important about Damona? Okay. Who knows what's important about Damona? $5 if you can tell me what's important about Damona. It's a very important city to Israel. Okay. Who knows what's important about Dimona? It's very famous, you guys. Dimona is where Israel's nuclear facilities are. This is where Israel built its nuclear weapons. Okay. And so it's talking in Ezekiel about a city called Hamona, but the nuclear weapons are built in a city called Damona, which is very close to this place where Ezekiel is talking about. So, and nobody has attacked Israel, Blackwater, but they're anticipating that Iran and Lebanon or Hezbollah are going to attack it. They're waiting because Israel killed Ismail Haniyeh in Tehran, and Tehran has said that they're going to retaliate, and so everybody is waiting for an attack. So that's kind of what I'm talking about. Here, let's look at: is God going to destroy people who checked Israel in the Great War because they're attacking Jews for just being Jews, or is it they're going to punish them for believing a false gospel? You know what? I'm not sure that this is related to that. I think it's just that there's going to be a war. It predicts in the Bible that there's going to be a war, and that Iran is going to attack Israel. That's what Ezekiel says. Iran and Russia. And it looks like a nuclear war. So that's kind of why I'm saying it right now, just because it looks like it's happening. It looks like it's happening. Okay. And everybody's waiting for Iran to attack Israel right now. And some are telling Israel to go ahead and do a preemptive attack. So it's just a crazy time right now. And let me just go ahead. If you look at the news, this is what's in the news right now. Netanyahu warns of a proactive attack as Tehran speaks of Israel's annihilation. Iranian President Pezeshkian asked Supreme Leader to refrain from attacking Israel. Then an Iranian general says, Israel cannot be saved from annihilation, says Iranian army commander. And then you have a commentary from the Jerusalem Post. Enough of waiting for disasters. Israel should strike preemptively. It's really crazy. And it's the same people who are described in the Bible. So that's one of the reasons why I'm doing this, because it just looks like what the Bible talks about. All right. And then I want to look at something else too, just because, of course, Iran isn't the only country that's involved right now. There's also Lebanon, there's Gaza, and so I want to look at Psalm, I believe it's 83. And it says here in Psalm 83, it says, "O God, do not remain silent. Do not turn a deaf ear. Do not stand aloof, O God. See how your enemies growl, how your foes rear their heads. With cunning they conspire against your people. They plot against those you cherish. Come, they say, let us destroy them as a nation, so that Israel's name be remembered no more." Does that sound like what Iran, that general, said? Come, let us destroy them as a nation, so that Israel's name is remembered no more. And just look at what this general said here. says Israel cannot be saved from annihilation. Okay, so yeah, let's look at what Psalm 83 here says. With one mind they plot together, they form an alliance against you. And then it tells you who it is. The tents of Edom and the Ishmaelites. Okay, Edom is kind of again, if you look back at Edom, historically, they were people that lived kind of to the southeast of Israel, and these are the descendants of Esau, Jacob's brother. Okay, and then the Ishmaelites; those are, of course, the descendants of Ishmael, who was the brother of Isaac. Of Moab and the Hagarites. Moab, okay, these are the descendants of Lot. Remember, Lot had two sons by his daughters, Moab and Ammon. And Moab was one of them. And that today is like Jordan. The Hagarites are like Egyptian, remember, because Hagar came from Egypt. Byblos, Ammon, okay, again, Ammon is the descendant of Lot in Jordan. Amalek. Amalek is like in Gaza, those Amalekites, that's where they used to dwell, is in Gaza. Okay, they don't exist anymore. Okay, Philistia. Now, Philistia today would, the Philistines had 5 cities. They were Gath, Ekron, Ashkelon, Ashdod, Gaza. Okay, so there you're talking about the people of Gaza specifically, and the people of Tyre. Tyre is in Lebanon. That's Hezbollah territory. So you've got Philistia here, you got Gaza here, and you got Lebanon here, Tyre. Okay, even Assyria has joined them. Now, when it says Assyria, there is no Assyria today. But Assyria would be like the eastern part of Syria and the western part of Iraq. Okay, so that area that used to be called ISIS's caliphate, okay, in the Bible, that was the area of Nineveh and Assyria. So could be Iraq, could be Syria. Very dangerous. To reinforce Lot's descendants, that's Moab and Ammon. Do to them as you did to Midian, as you did to Sisera and Jabin, who perished at Endor. Okay, Endor is the place where the witch of Endor, that's where Saul went and communicated with Samuel, who had died, at the witch of Endor. And by the way, you guys, remember what the name of the mother in Bewitched? What was the name of the mother in Bewitched? Her name was Endora. I bet you it's related to this. Okay, even though the lady who played Endora, her name was Agnes Moorehead, she was a Christian. And she did this amazing recital of the resurrection story at Oral Roberts Church. It was very powerful, and they became like dung on the ground. Okay, and they said, "Let us take possession of the pasture lands of God. Make them like tumbleweed, like chaff before the wind, as fire consumed the forests, or the flame sets the mountains ablaze. Pursue them with your tempest. Terrify them with your storm. Cover their faces with shame, so that they will seek your name." Okay, so the goal is that they will seek your name. Okay, so but here it tells you actually the countries involved, and all of the countries that are involved in what's going on right now are listed here. And so, is this? Are we living in those days? I don't know, but it seems like everything, all the pieces are in place. It sounds like everything is in place, exactly like Ezekiel and in that second prophecy, David, Zechariah, Jeremiah, all these prophets predicted these days. And so it looks like it's happening. And so I just kind of wanted to come on and just be here again, not knowing what's happening, not knowing exactly what's happening right now, but I tell you, it's happening really fast. And let me see, look at an American sources just to see if anything has happened. Okay. And America, meanwhile, is turning into milk toast, you know, with Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. Okay. And London is on fire. England is on fire. Bangladesh is on fire. Ukraine, Russia. And so we're seeing all of these things coming to pass, you guys. And so, hey, Assyrian truther, Assyrian Shlomo. Yeah, we were just talking about Assyria, you know, about Assyria is going to be with them. Yeah, so a lot of things going on right now. And let me just show you again the news. You know, one of the reasons I want to do is just to show you that the uncertainty and yet the constant warnings or drum beats that something's going to happen. Okay, here's Donald Trump. I'm hearing there's going to be an attack tonight by Iran. Okay. Joe Biden. Biden warned of an imminent double attack on Israel by Iran and Lebanon. Okay, underground bases and mobile launchers, Iran readying for an attack. This is all from the newspaper today, you guys. Erdogan warns Israel, like we entered Karabakh and Libya, we will do the same to Israel. Okay, here is the foreign minister, Katz, says Iran has decided to attack Israel. Okay, and then you got all of these right here. Netanyahu warns of a proactive attack as Tehran speaks of Israel's annihilation. All right, and then this column by the Jerusalem Post says enough of waiting for disasters. Israel should strike preemptively. Okay, so you know, is this all talk? Is it all talk and nothing's going to happen? I hope so. I just say that. I hope this is all talk and nothing's going to happen. That'd be the best thing as far as I'm concerned. You know, that'd be great if that happens, because we don't want war. We don't want people to die. And hopefully Iran calls off any attack. You know, that would be the best thing for sure. Okay, we don't want war. Okay, but same time, we're aware of what's going on. I'm aware of the prophetic calendar. Okay, and so yeah, so there we go. All right, you guys. Well, hello, Haron May. God bless you. God bless you, Danny. The Lord bless you. Thank you so much, man. Appreciate your prayers. So, all right, you guys. Well, that's kind of all I'm going to do right now. And one last time, just because things happen so fast, you know, you just got to keep your eyes on stuff. And by the way, there was a terrorist threat against Taylor Swift, not specifically Taylor Swift, but against her concert. She was going to have a You guys, what is this thing with Taylor Swift? Can somebody help me understand? Taylor Swift in Europe. Okay, there was a group of everything that's happening in England right now is related to a Taylor Swift dance club and not that Taylor Swift has any responsibility at all in any of this. Okay, she doesn't have responsibility for it, but it's just related. Both of them have her name attached to them. One is in England. Remember, there was this dance or this group, this dance club or something with little girls learning to dance to Taylor Swift at a Taylor Swift party, and then a guy went in there and killed 3 of the girls. The rumors went out that this was a Muslim, and so there started huge riots all over England, and they're still going on right now. And it was related to this dance thing, and it was a Taylor Swift dance music party like. And then today in Vienna, she was supposed to have a concert, and they canceled the concert because there was 2 guys who were ISIS members who were going to do a terrorist attack against her concert in Vienna, to where they canceled the concert. So you got Taylor Swift in a party in England, and you got Taylor Swift concert in Vienna with ISIS involvement in one of them, and the other one they said it was Islamic involvement, but a lot of people are saying no, it's not, because the kid was not Muslim. He was not an immigrant. He was born in England. So the one who killed the 3 girls, but it was at a Taylor Swift dance party or something like that. So anyway, super insane times we're living in. And then you went and saw that thing that Pillsbury Doughboy that Kamala Harris chose as her vice president. Pillsbury Doughboy, who is ran away from his battle responsibilities, and was caught with drunk driving, and pretended that he didn't understand when he was being arrested, like he was deaf. And that's her vice president. And a lot of people saying the reason she chose him is because he's not Jewish, because she didn't want the superior candidate, who was Josh. I can't remember his last name, who was a Jewish guy, but because he was Jewish, they didn't choose him. That's what everybody's saying. So anyway, crazy times. God bless you, and we'll hopefully be back tonight. And crazy times. And one last time, just because things happen so fast, you don't know if something happened. So let's just see. All right. Well, I think that nothing has happened yet. They're anticipating something to happen, but nothing's happened yet. I've been doing these for 3 days. Oh, let's see. Oh, Haroon May is my son. Okay. So Haroon May is my son. So God bless you, Verducci Man. Verducci Man and Assyrian Truther. God bless you guys. Yeah, we're just doing a thing about Bible prophecy. And if you didn't watch it, go back and watch it, because there's some very significant prophecies in Ezekiel 39 about a nuclear war, and about the cleanup. And this is in Ezekiel 39. And it's the same people who are involved, who are doing stuff right now. And one thing that I didn't say, but I've talked about it before, is that Ezekiel 38 tells you of 2 alliances of nations. There's one alliance of nations that is with Russia. It's called Magog. That one includes Iran, Sudan, Somalia, Libya, Turkey, Georgia, possibly Germany, Russia. And then there's another alliance of nations, and these are the wimps who aren't doing nothing. And that includes America, Australia, Canada, Saudi Arabia, and Yemen. And it specifically says that in Ezekiel 38. It says the cubs of Tarshish England? England. Dude, England is listed in Ezekiel 38 among the nations. And look what's happening in England right now. You guys, all of these nations, everything, dude, it's happening too fast, and it looks like Ezekiel 38 and 39. I mean, all of these nations are on fire right now. And be ready, you guys. The Lord Jesus is coming back. Well, we trust in the Lord Jesus, and the Bible talks about the sons of Issachar who knew the seasons and times. There's aware of a prophetic gift, kind of awareness of the prophetic times. And you guys, it's just getting so obvious. It gets so obvious. It reminds me of, remember when when Moses went to Pharaoh and Moses said, "Let my people go." And then Pharaoh said, "No, I don't know the Lord," or anything. And then Moses turned the stick into a snake. And then Pharaoh's magicians came and they turned their sticks into snakes. And then Pharaoh said, "See, I can do the same magic trick you guys can do." But then it says Moses's snake ate the snakes of the magicians. So they knew they were dealing with someone greater than their gods. And then Moses turned the water into blood, the river into blood. And then the magicians were able to duplicate that miracle. Of course, they didn't turn all the water into blood. They probably just had a glass of water and put some dye in it and made it look like blood. And then Pharaoh hardened his heart because, see, we duplicated your miracle. And then they made frogs come out of the river, and the frogs went all over. And then the magicians were able to get a few frogs to jump out of the river to make it look like it wasn't a miracle. But then it says that Aaron hit the dust. He hit the dust of Egypt. He hit it with his stick, and all the dust in Egypt turned into lice. And then what it says is Pharaoh's magicians said to Pharaoh, "Pharaoh, this is the finger of God. We can't do any more cheap parlor tricks to try to dig you out of this one. God is really talking to you. This is obviously God." And that's kind of how I feel. This is kind of how I feel about what's happening now. Even Pharaoh's magicians are saying this is the finger of God. You guys repent if you haven't done it. Haronme, all of you guys, anyone who's not a believer, repent. These are the signs that God warned. They're coming to pass, like the Bible said. Open your heart, accept the Lord now. Accept the Lord now. He could be coming today. The rapture could be today, you guys, with the way things are happening. Open up your hearts. Be ready. If you haven't done it, do it now. Say, "Jesus, help me. Jesus, forgive me. Jesus, come into my heart. Jesus, help me. Jesus, forgive me. Jesus, come into my heart. Yesur sa'idni. Yesur samahni. Yesur udkhul qalbi." He loves you. We love you. And we'll be back tonight. And I tell you, if the rapture doesn't happen, we'll be back tonight. And if the fire on the coastlands doesn't happen either. So, all right, you guys, thank you for hanging out with us for a little while. I tell you, I'm doing these because it's like you don't know while you're doing it, a prophecy is going to be fulfilled, or something's going to happen.